and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station.
That being said, good morning. It's the new day, new week. A lot of things happened during the week, and the beginning of the 2025-2026 league season. FC Faciled, Black Men Warriors, Determined Girls, and World Girls start the league on yesterday at the Samuel Kando Sports Complex. That's the Liberia Football Association First Division and Upper Women League. Began on yesterday, and it was quite competitive. Those of you that were following, I believe that you followed and you observed what happened when Determined Girls and World Girls when the clash. You saw the control, the determination from both sides, and we saw the competition. Though Determined Girls triumphed at the end, they get a spot kick and then it was quite utilized by that midfielder from them wearing the 22 shite. And at the end of the day, they walk out victorious as the champion of the Super Cup, the 2025 season. And though Warriors didn't win the game, but they put up brilliant performance. The spectators saw what they displayed, and every one of us, even the actors themselves, the coaches of both Determined Girls and World Girls, they acknowledge the performance of both sides. And Coach Robert Latte, the head coach of Determined Girls, admitted that the team dominated Determined Girls. World Girls dominated Determined Girls. They played the ball to the floor. They played the ball to themselves. They control the play. But they decided to play for the wing. Determined Girls decided to play for the wing, using Mambintu Kamara and also Delvin Glau, who had the opener. And that strategies worked for them, which gave them the win. We want to say bravo to Coach Bravo Latte and his girls for coming out victorious and winning the Super Cup. On the other hand, World Girls are also in preparation in terms of the start of the league. They begin very good, a possessive game. We hope that they will continue it to the other games to come as they begin the league season. Hope that they continue that, what we saw on yesterday at the Sambuca and those complex. Those of you that follow them, we will open the line later, and then we'll ask for your view. What did you observe yesterday? Black Men Warrior, FC Facel, Determined Girls, World Girls competition. Coming on to the men's category of the Super Cup, FC Facel defeated Black Men Warrior to a penalty shootout. And that was done for a spot kick. An advantage by Masari, the striking force, and that's the striker who would make use of the opportunity and be able to utilize and identify on mistakes from the defenders of Black Men Warrior. And at the end of the day, they got a spot kick, and the goalkeeper of the team, Ahmed Savage, delivered well. Black Men Warrior played on the defended that 1-0 lead, and they walked out victorious on yesterday at the Samuel Kando Sports Complex. So what happened at the level of the Big Five, the finals of the Liberia Basketball Association First Division League as well? What happened? What did you observe as it relates to that game? So based upon that, we'll talk more about that. We're going to discuss about what is happening, what do we expect. We'll go for this break. When we come back, we'll bring you more of the happening here. So as we were saying, at the level of the Liberia Basketball Association Big Five, that is the grand finals of the competition. As you may be aware, they are to play 5 games, and best out of that, if one having to win 3, the other one win 2. Definitely the team that win 3 games definitely qualified, and they are the champion of the 2025 season of Liberia Basketball Association. On the one yesterday, LPRC orders fall prey to NPA Patton. Patton defeated LPRC out of 50-46 at the SKD Generation, and they claimed their first win of the 2025 Liberia Basketball Association First Division League. LPRC out of 50-46 points in a half-fight game, competitive game. Looking at the point, it shows that the game was highly competitive because it's just 4 points different. And I believe that others can come back into game 2, which will be done on Wednesday at the SKD Generation. And we hope to see others coming back to put up more attack and to put up more defense that forward. I believe that others with the leg of Fidel Marshall that they have, who is the lineman, I believe that they can bounce back. But nevertheless, NPA Patton, they are prepared. They come with everything, every match, and they do everything in order to get the win. Testament to that is they just in the semi-final matches against Mighty Barrow, the defending champion. I will now say the then defending champion because they are now out of the competition. They will no longer be the champion because either LPRC orders the champion or we will have NPA Patton to be the champion. That will be determined in later date to come. Hope Patton can continue that winning win. What happened yesterday at our boys that are currently in Malé, Bamako? What happened? The U17 boys got massively defeated to Malé U17 boys. We were defeated 6-0. 6 goals. I got my own take about the entire thing, looking at what played. Our players are very good in terms of their control. They control the ball, they play the ball. They have the primary way of playing the game and the fundamental stage that coaches will refer to it. But it's just not about that. Looking at the players that we played against, they are not of our age. Looking at that, I'm not trying to be segregative here, but I just want to remind you that looking at the age our team played against yesterday, the body, the height, we were just far above that. Even our striker, Robert Latte Jr. with the higher height, we get the higher height on the team, could not even match the height of Malayan players. So it seems, not talking about the height, our players are just little, very small. Let me use the Liberian word. They are small for those guys that they play. Though they have the control, we watched the game. We saw how they control the game. We saw how they play the ball to themselves. We saw the possession from the Liberian side. But the aspect of just being to overweight the opposite team was just difficult because of the body condition of our players. I believed, in my opinion, I will tell you that the H's are not the same. I will tell you that the H's are not the same. And FIFA, WAFUT officials, they need to redo, or they need to critically do the MR text. They need to do it, because which will help the team, the credibility. We understand all of our players of the U17 team, they successfully passed the MRR test conducted by WAFU. But I believe that you can also do that test over, or were they not tested? The players from Malé, even the players from Sierra Leone, were they not tested? Looking at the height, the body, and someone will tell you that this player is under 17, no one will believe it. You say under 17 players are not 17 years old player. That's what we need to understand. We say under 17, which means that kid should be 15, 16, or 14. That's qualified you to be under 17. But you can be 18 or 17, exactly. You say you're under 17. Why is under 17? I think that phrase or that part of the English language need to be understood by WAFU A. It's very important. Our players are of the rightful age. They play the game are of the rightful age. But what becomes of the opposing side? Or do we need to cheat now? Whenever we go to competition too, we need to cheat. We need to carry overage players too now. I think we need to do that. Probably if that will get us the win. We saw it of recent year, Sierra Leone, in WAFU U17 girls competition. We saw what happens. But it's not, if we're going to talk about this, we will talk about it because we need total transparency at every level when it comes to the game. Transparency is very important when it comes to football. Transparency is key. We're talking football here. Why is it that we not need to be transparent? Then we're talking about football. So what happened over the weekend as well in Nima County, Gompa State to be precise, the Liberian Sports Writers Association concluded their 39 anniversary. Since 1986, we are now 39 years of existence as an organization. The aspect of just being 39 years is quite different from what we do. Our age should prove in our behavior, should be proven in our behaviors. So I listened to the guest speaker cleanly, the guest speaker who is also the president of the Liberia Chess Federation. I listened to Keenan. He called for increased respect, unity, investment in sporting discipline. He called for that. And doesn't mean that like discipline. We should be disciplined to what we do as sports journalists. We should not be carried that like some of our friends today that now living in the pockets of club owners. They are now living in the pockets of team players. So their judgment are not independent. Sometimes our red out are not even proving to us that we are sports journalists. Sometimes our speeches, sometimes the things we say, the things we do, some of us, not every one of us, some of us that are in this position, the things we do, doesn't prove that we are sports journalists, doesn't prove that we are journalists. Because we received a letter from a club president, received letter from individuals, and we badmouth people in our red out without being objective, finding our ABC. We were taught that. Some of us that have the formal education in what we're doing today, that's why when we write, we have all of the A's, the B's, and the C's in our red out. But some of our colleagues will think that the only way they can be seen or they can gain relevant is by badmouthing other people and not seeing the rightful part of it. So the president of the Liberia Chess Federation, he was very clear to it. Gongati Takwe. Gongati make it very clear to us. If we say we are journalists, our red out, we are sports journalists, we should promote the game objectively. What do we see? They say we don't just see as a journalist, we see beyond. We don't just see on the surface. Not because people tell someone say, oh, the person like this, you just run with it and just write without finding a balancing part of that story. Some of us, we are taking our side already. Then we want Liberians supposed to be developed. We want the game to grow. But we sports journalists are not growing. We still continuing on the path of some of our veterans. We still continue on the path of some of our veterans. Those old journalists, those old sports journalists will still behaving the them. Some of them, we know some of them that are very much objective, good. That today some of us will take them as our mentors. Every time we go out and we see them, we recognize them. Some of them, they are our mentors. We respect them a lot. But some of them are very unprofessional. Today, even some of the bigger guys among us today in sports journalism are not just doing sports journalism, but they are doing yellow journalism. Taking side without balancing your story, without balancing our thoughts. Then we say we're sports journalists. How can we improve the game in Liberia when one for party X, the other one for party B? How can we develop the sports? If Club A win a game, every one of us, let's promote that club objectively. Let's write the story, identify the errors in the game, and talk about the rightful thing. Talk about some of these things that was right in the game, the compliments in the game. Don't just talk about the errors as well. See some of the brilliance being played. Since when have we been able to talk about a particular referee error exhibited in a game? And whenever we talk about the error, we also talk about our referee good officiating. Have we been able to do that? We are sports journalists. We are sports journalists. The reason we badmouth others because we decide, or some of us have decided to live in the pocket of club presidents. We decided to live in the pocket of club presidents. We believe that's the only way we can live. The poverty that in Liberia, that the only way we can practice our profession to badmouth others. So I was just sitting in Ganta, Nima County, and I listened to the keynote speaker. He was blunt. He was clear. If we will say that Liberia football is not developing, according to him, that will be a lie. But what have been our right out about some of the developments? That a guy will come in and say, building football facilities and building stadiums around the place is not development in football. Are you killing me? Are you kidding me? Where former players used to play before, they used to play on a grabber fee. Today, players are now playing on top. Is it not worth appreciating those that are doing the best in the sector? Before then, player money was very low in terms of salaries. Today, some clubs have left the bar. Do we not have to do that in our right out, appreciating those presidents that have raised the bar of increasing the incentives of players or the salaries of players over the time? For the few years they have come into football or they have been in football, increasing the bar, creating competition. Are we not seeing it as well? All what we see is the negatives. We only see the negative. We don't see positivity in our game. Sports writer, sports analysts. When we sit on our radio shows, we badmouth people. If we will not badmouth the RFA, we will bomb off the other club. Do we have to continue this if we want Liberia football to grow? I believe that Liberia football can only grow, or it can grow on a higher stage and gain world relevant more exposed journalists can write, can analyze objectively what they have seen, which will be very good for our sports. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to announce that. A lot of things we're going to talk about. So if you join us, we try to place the numbers to call. We try to place it on the screen, but we find it a bit difficult to get it because according to our producer, it's not being seen. Yeah, I think it's now on the screen. You can make your call. It's not on the screen. And you can have your say. How do you see sports reporting in Liberia? I'm not saying some of us are not good in what we do. Some of us are not doing our best. But some of us just decide to do it the wrong way. Some of us. Because I understand among good apples, what people will say, they are bad apples. And those of all that have signed out in Mandara, they will say, which means that one writing right can spoil all the good rights. Yeah. All the good right, all the good apple, you just put one apple on it. One bad apple, it will spoil it. So one thing we need to understand is about how we go about doing the rightful thing. Yesterday, I listened to the coach of FC Fasel. And we'll talk about that first. But first, let's bring you that penalty that resulted into, or the foul that resulted into a penalty kick for FC Fasel. And Ahmed Savage have that long goal for FC Fasel. Let's bring you that play. And out of all, let's begin to analyze. I had my own exception when it comes to that play, resulting how the Blackman Warrior player lost the ball. And I think it was a foul. And at the end of the day, center referee didn't blow on it in the NOA. I think he was looking for some possession, but the players from Blackman Warrior were not in possession of the ball. But with this, the center referee played a death eyes onto that. And at the end of the day, FC Fasel striker utilized on a mistake of the defender of Blackman Warrior. Let's bring you that foul committed resulted into the penalty for FC Fasel.
They will have it. Blackman Warriors trying to look forward. It's been bubbled. They will have it. Blackman Warriors trying to look forward.
So let's look at that. So you see that foul, that number 7 players from FC Fasel. I think you need to bring it back a bit. Let them see that. Yes. So the Blackman Warrior player had ball, decided to play onto his teammate, and he got heavily weighted out of the board. I think, in my opinion, that was a foul. And the referee was to sound the whistle. You saw the position of the referee. I think he was a bit far from the happening. And then that FC Fasel player identified his teammate, and then I refer to that as daft, but when I saw the replay of the game, I noticed that defender was not patient. He was not patient enough. But the center referee needed to call for that foul that happened from the back. He needed to call for the foul. Let's just have a replay of that again. I think you're going to see that. There is it. The foul was committed. It was in low, and then they allowed the advantage for Fasel. If I said to that break was just very important, and you saw that everyone watched this game will tell you that was a diving. You saw that, or are you seeing that on your screen currently? The player, the striker of FC Fasel, Masari, put your board. That was no tackle. You saw that, and he decided to just dive in. But the referee said it's a penalty, and he's the chief arbiter of the game. I will always say that, and I will say it over and over. He's the chief arbiter of the game. That striker make Masari try to make an opportunity for himself, and he fell on the defender of Blackburn Warrior, which resulted into just having it for them. You saw that. And that was just how FC Fasel took the lead. They defended very well, though we have the introduction of Moses Messi, where the former Blackman Tibet player would now play for Blackman Warriors. He made his debut on yesterday for Blackman Warrior. That's Moses Ware. He called himself Messi, and that's how it was done. But I think the numbers are on the screen. Just make your call. Tell us, how did you see the game on yesterday? Blackman Warrior, FC Fasel. What did you observe, and what do you think we can be able to work on? John Baptist, he said, good morning. My name is John Baptist. I'm following the show. Also, James Zuba. We need through Jendiba is following. James Zuba is also following on this podcast. So there is it. There is some part of the game I think the referees need to get more closer. You notice that of recent, we noticed the referees were training from the preseason time. They provided some kind of training for them in terms of making them to be fit. Physical training was provided for them by the association. That's LIFRA, Liberia National Referee Association. They provided some physical trainings for them. At the end of the day, they'll have to come together and discuss. Indoor trainings were also provided. But I think as a center referee, whenever you are officiating a match, it's important that you get more closer. Because whenever you get more closer, you identify the errors. Whenever you get more closer, you identify the faults. As well, you get more advantage to the game. We understand the referee is the king of the game, but the referee is not error-free. That was an error on the part of the center referee on yesterday. But the advantage was allowed to FC Fasel. And Fasel made use of their opportunity, got the penalty, got the win, and they are the champion of the 2025 Super Cup. And they are still the defending champion of the 2024-2025 season until the climax of the league. If we happen to see, a lot of teams are preparing themselves. The leg of Blackman Warrior, you saw the game on yesterday. The leg of Pinze FC, Heaven 11, B Mountain, they are also preparing themselves. The leg of Downtown, Gardensville, Wodogisi FC, who just got promoted to the first league, they are also preparing themselves. So a lot of things is expected to be done. We're going to see that, and a lot of play. We're going to see competitive games during this league season. We're going to see competitive game. Patrick Davis, following from Gardensville Town Hall community. I watched a game yesterday. There was foul before the goal, but it was not called for. Yes, this is a similar thing I was talking about, and this commentator is saying it. There was foul before the goal, before the penalty. There was a foul. But the referee, I do believe, due to his position, that he didn't identify that foul committed by the player wearing the 7 shirt from FC Fasel. That's Cisse. He didn't identify Cisse foul. Didn't identify, probably due to his position, or probably it was an error, a forgetful one, which of course I do believe that the referee needed to do better. He needed to provide due diligence to that foul. But he allowed the play to continue, and then SC Fasel got the penalty. So Jim Zuba is also saying the ref was hungry. No, I won't dive into this. The ref was hungry. He was not running with the players. It's not about being hungry. The ref is not a hungry ref. We know he's an experienced FIFA bash referee. He's been reffing Liberian games. He's been very good. But on yesterday, I think he needed to go alone. But his distance couldn't allow him to get hold of that one. But he identified. And also, he was far to the penalty spot. He was far away to where the penalty occurred. But I think good game yesterday, Blackman Warriors. Good game yesterday, FC Fasel. Competitive game. We watched it yesterday. Let's listen to the head coach of FC Fasel. According to him, Blackman Warriors have a very good side. They play well. But the best thing took the day, and they believe they can come back. They can play very well. But one thing that I do take an exception to Coach Ama Alagic, the head coach of FC Fasel, that I can say at any time, anywhere, and I don't hold an apology to anyone, for the coach to say that his team B, FC Fasel team B, can compete in the first league of the Liberia Football Association, I take a deep exception to that. His team B cannot compete into the first league. The first league is a highly professional league in our country. This league is our first pride. And you cannot just come into the league. You cannot just come day one. You cannot just come play your first game of the season. You cannot just come into the competition and say your team B can compete into the first league. I think that was disrespectful to the coaches are coaching the first league. That was disrespectful to the first league. And I think the coach hold an apology to the players of the first league, the coaches of the first league. It is important, I think coaches, professional-wise, it's important that you respect your opponent. It's important that you respect your opponents. If the coach of FC Fasel, Ama Alagic, can say his team B, FC Fasel team B, which is the Under 17 team, can compete into Liberia Football Association First League, I don't believe that, and I disagree with it. I disagree with it. His team B cannot compete. If they come into the first league, every game they play, they will receive less than 5. They will receive less than 5. So it shows that they cannot compete. They cannot compete into the first league. We need to get this clear. We need to understand this is football. This is our first league. We know how intensified the game can be. We know the pace of the first league. That you want to bring in your team B, it's not good for our coaches. I think he must have spoken out of anxiety or emotion, but I don't believe that his team B, FC Fasel U17, can compete into the first league. They cannot. So let's listen to him on this note.
You answered that question. If Fasel, if I bring local players, and you see more and more local players coming in the first 11, right? We have also foreign players, but we are competing now. So if I raise their level up, of course that Liberian national team will benefit from that, surely, right? Because if they are becoming better, if they can compete almost with Algeria, who is Algeria, one of the best teams in Africa, it is also beneficial for the national team. I cannot say you 6 months or say if you go that way, Liverpool took 4 years, right? Plus Paris Saint-Germain took 8 years, right? To make a dominance. We already after 2 months we see the identity of our team. More possession game unlike last season. But I'm telling you, boys need many young players. They never trained and play like that. They need more time to understand. Because skills in Liberia, this is what I see, with all due respect. Skills basic skills are missing for many players. That's why so many long balls and this and that, because we cannot, not too many teams can play possession play here. So this is my job, but you need the personnel. So we're working on that, you know, and refreshing the team maybe in December.
So you listen to him, I think that was the wrong asset. We're going to play the real one, but he said that in one of the interviews that we have. So you need to understand this thing. Sometimes we play the game, some of us, we have been old players in the game, have played the level of third division, though I didn't go second. But we understand football. Some of us that play on the base, we know how it takes a time, and we understand when the game intensifies, how we engage the game, how we move about, talking about the game, talking about the players, talking about those we meet, those high, one would say, unstoppable wars that have to do with the defenders and the goalkeeper. And you say your second team can compete into the first league. It's just not good. This is another. I've read after the game again. We have some conversation. We talk more with the president, the CEO, Mr. Anthony Kaseko. We talk about the team is in full readiness, and the best side took the day. The team is in full readiness to win the league, to maintain their title. I love his confidence. He's very good, supportive president when it comes to footballing in Liberia. He's one of those. One would say, like Coach Teofila Jiga would say, FC Fasel, the team with the big money. Yeah, they are the team with the big money. And all praises go to Anthony Kaseko. They have the big money, and they are paying their players very well. They pay their coaches, their staffs, including officials. They also pay them very well, that which we appreciate. But I believe that this year edition of the First Division League going to be very tough. Like you always say, the good side will take the day. And we know that the good side will have to take the day. Fasel can be the good side. Heavy 11 can be the good side. B Mountain can be the good side. Discovery Sports Academy, they can be the good side as well. Even downtown, Gardensville, they can be the good side. Wodogisi SC can be the good side. So we're going to talk about that. Let's listen to the president of SC Fasel, Mr. Anthony Kaseko, the big spinner into the Liberian League.
We're grateful for the opening of the league season, which is obviously the Super Cup. We are grateful for winning both the male and the female divisions of the NFA Upper League. And we look forward to a better season.
What did you see today?
Honestly, we are not deterred by our opponent. We believe that we had a game plan and we executed. Our game plan was to come and get a victory. And we executed and we got the needed victory, both Bitamigya and Ghana FC Fasel. So I believe the best side win today, and I believe our both side was the best side.
What can people
a couple of months back that we are not just a team, we are a movement to liberate Liberian football. At the end of the day, I can tell you this very clearly. FC Fasel is going to win championship in Liberia for the next 5 years. We believe we have the capacity, we believe we have the level of preparation. We are not worried about that. The Determined Girls, we are working in progress. We are looking at game by game, and we believe we're also going to claim the championship this year. That is why we put tactician into play. So we are coming for win. That is why we are here.
What did he?
At the cup competition, our result in the cup competition wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. Because if you kind of look at the people that we play, MC Ojos, come on man, this team was founded 1921. And when you go to Ojiro and see what team we're talking about state team. We are talking about state funding. We are not talking about individual funding. FC Fasel is an individual team. It is a Kaseko team. I was going against a whole state. So at the end of the day, we know that we did our best. We wanted to support them, but at the end of the day, we did it. So it's work in progress. Next year, we believe we want to do better. To be honest with you, we entertain criticism. Because as a good team, you have to entertain criticism. You cannot live in this world without being criticized. So we are okay with it. We want them to continue to criticize. criticize, with their criticism, we learn more and we do better. So we entertain it. That's all I can say. It's not being a bit difficult when you say it being a bit difficult. Like for example, FC Basel, this is our first continental. So you can say it being a bit difficult. It is only one time. It is one try, and we got a game. We got a draw at home. We didn't win at home, but we also didn't lose at home. We were able to defend our home soil. So at the end of the day, we went outside and we fall free to a very strong side, a side that was in the quarterfinal of last year. They were in the quarterfinal. We are like a just comer. So definitely, I don't see that as a problem, and I don't see that to be something that we have to be discouraged. It's work in progress.
So welcome back. You're listening to the president of FC Basel, Anthony Kaseko, talking about this team. FC Basel is just not a team, but they are a movement. They are a movement, a movement that come for. This movement is all about making Liberia football better. And I believe, according to him, he believes that honor him as the president of FC Basel. He believes that they can reclaim the trophy. They can go back and maintain that championship after beginning on a good note. They begin the season on a good note. That which we must applaud him for. His support, his love. And one thing I admire about Anthony Kaseko, he's always present at every game venue. He's always present. He's not just the spender of the money, but he's also the supporter of the team. His financial support, moral support to the team, which I believe if all club presidents can do that, the game will move to another level. Liberia game will be improved. Our country will be better one day. One thing we need to understand, Liberia can only get better. The sporting sector can only get better in our country if we get away with our feelings. With our feelings. With our self-greed. Our self-greed. If it is not me, it cannot beat you. If we get away with this kind of thoughts, our game can improve. Liberia can get better at the game. We can go to the African Cup of Nations. We can go to the World Cup. We can compete better at CAF Confederation Cup qualifier. We can compete better and move to the next stage of every competition, continental competition we go to. We can compete better. If we all can come together, identify the errors, work on the errors, do the good, and talk about the good, then only see negatives. Because everything we do in Liberia, some of our friends, the only thing they look at is negative. Whenever they see the negative, it becomes good story. Like one of the guys, that which I will not mention on the show, the last time we went on a program, one of the speakers said something. All of the good things that was said on the program was of no matter to him. But the negative part, the mistake that were made, everyone capitalized on that. And that was the story they wrote. Forgetting about the real ingredients, about what the occasion was about. Only want to find error. We don't look at the good. When last sport journalists are we being able to write in row 10 good stories in a month time? All of our stories that we are writing, some of us write very good, that which we can boast about. But some of us, our stories that we write, from Monday to Sunday are bad news. No good story. And I know some of our guys, they feel very happy about that. Because they feel that's the only way they can get ends meet. That's the only way. We need to get rid of these thoughts. We need to promote our game. We need to talk football. We need to talk basketball. We need to talk chess. What is wrong with the Chess Federation? Why is it that we yet to move to another level? Though there are great strides at the level of the Liberia Chess Federation, they have participated internationally, make Liberia proud. Regionally, they have made Liberia proud in our female category. Abigail Kaya, she's one of Liberia's best when it comes to the game. She's one of Liberia's best in the region when it comes to chess. When lies do we talk about these things? Or how many times we can talk about it? The strides at the level of Liberia Taekwondo, the Taekwondo Federation, the representation. When last have we talked about it? But when they talk about the negative part, when negative things have been done at the level of Liberia Chess Federation or at the level of Liberia Taekwondo Federation, then we talk about it. We need to do it. We need to. It is important. It is good. It is right to talk about the negatives, to talk about the errors, but it's also right to find remedy, the way out, providing your opinions on what it should be. What can we do? What have been your recommendations, sports journalists? We need to talk about that. And the next time we will come here by Wednesday, I will tell you that we following the Liberia Basketball Association League. And this is one of the associations in the country that lack timing in their organizations. They lack timing. The basketball game, having to put up the feature and say the game will start by 4. Mind you, that game will start 6. Which I do believe is just not good for the game. One, it will shut away things. 2, it make even the team reluctant to come in time for games. You got to know very well, even the organizer are not in time. They are not even ready. Can you imagine sometimes we have to apologize or appeal to our fans on our Facebook page whenever we put out a flyer and say the game to start by 4. And then we go out of court, the game yet to begin, or there is no sign of preparation. And after 2 hours, then we see the players coming, we see the coaches coming, we see the referees, we see the organizers coming. You cannot say game time is 4 and you cannot be at the venue. At least you should be at the venue by 3. By 4 o'clock, the game starts. When you say 4 o'clock for the game, the start time should be 4. You don't say 4 o'clock that we start the game 6. Are you kidding me? Liberia Basketball Association leadership, the president, Abraham Samuka, Secretary General, Calvin Diggs, Treasurer Malcolm Joseph. You guys need to come together. You need to put things together. Things are not right in terms of how you start your games. If you know the game will start by 6, say the game time is 6 o'clock. That we understand. Don't say 4 o'clock, then the game start by 6. Sometimes you say 7, the game start by 9. They even give viewers, your spectators, our followers, problem. They find it hard to get adapted. We need to work on things. Liberia Basketball Association, we into the Big 5. If you say the game is 5 o'clock, please start by 5. Please start by 5. If the game is 5 o'clock, start by 5. Organization is lacking in terms of preparation at the Liberia Basketball Association. I don't want to call the terms the other way. Don't want to provide a lot of adjectives to want that. But you should also understand you are running an association, group of professional people. You're running an association with a lot of professional people. the teams, the coaches, the presidents, the clubs, they are professionals. So you need to be exact with your time. Please, we are appealing to you. Good games, good competition, but you need to be in time. If the game is 5, please, let's start 5. If the game is 5, even sometimes we find it a bit difficult with the feature. Other time you put feature on, and then you take down the feature and put another one on. Are you killing me? What are we doing? What can we do? Where are we heading to in this country with sporting business, basketball association, leadership? You need to come together, decide, talk about the time. I believe sports in our country can develop. I believe sports in our country can get better one day. Liberia will compete at the World Cup. Liberia will compete at the African Cups, at the African Olympic. We will compete. Not just participating, I'm talking about competing into the competition, which will help our name, the bright, white, and blue, will be seen all over. Because all our clubs, all our national team, they are called Lone Star. Basketball team, Lone Star. Chess team, Lone Star. Taekwondo team, Lone Star. Tennis ball team, Lone Star. Football team, Lone Star. I think the way we are regionalizing the keyboard game now, our national team will still be called keyboard team, Lone Star. So the Lone Star, the star need to shine. If that can be done, Liberia can get better. Our country can move forward. We believe that one day our government will pay key attention to sports development. Because once you develop or once you invest in sports, your country get developed. Now, for example, Senegal today, out of the investment they have placed in sports, they are now enjoying the fruit of their labor. For example, Ethiopia today, out of their investment in sports, they are enjoying the fruit of their labor. Today, I was told that kids going to school in Ethiopia, whether it be private school, government school, like private school, you just pay 50% of the school fee, and the government will pay 50% in Ethiopia based upon sporting activities, money gained from their participation into regional tournaments. Today, they get that amount and then invest it into education. 50%, what are you in private school in Ethiopia today? I was doing my research about it. In the case we have to pay, the parents have to pay 50%, and then the government pay 50% in private school. Can you imagine that? So if you are attending government school free of charge, it's not looking at our own government school and say free of charge, you still paying money, you say free of charge. So we will talk about that. I believe before we leave the scene, before our children are coming up, my daughter, Elisa Pine, will see Liberia to the World Cup. My daughter will be proud of the Lone Star one day and say, yes, I am a Liberian. I believe that my daughter will come out and say, my father fought for this, and we are enjoying it now. We all can do better. Sports journalist, veteran. Lastly, I want to appreciate so much the president of Liberia Sports Writers Association. We want to say thank you, Mr. President Vama Kamara, and the whole team of officials, the leg of Jerome Wadey, the Assistant Secretary General, and also the Acting Vice President Edwin Dodo. We want to say thank you for your organization of the 39th anniversary in Nimba County. We have a good day. We enjoyed ourselves, and not just the merrymaking, but lesson learned. We associated with others. We get some intimate friendship with some of our colleagues. Though we only talk on the phone, some of us we were only passerby, but our state in Nimba County make us to believe there are good people in SWA They are good sports journalists. They are good friends that can make Liberia better. Thank you. I've been here. My name is Elijah Pine. It's the beginning of the week. It's the sports issue at the year. Thank you for now.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. Beyond the live conversation, the analysis and discussions with the stakeholders